My name is Emmanuel Akanem, and the person standing beside me is my mom. Well, I came to the Synagogue Church of All Nations because I had the problem of stealing, smoking. I was addicted to drugs. I was a fraudster. I did online fraud, internet fraud, credit card fraud, whatever thing that has to do with fraud, you just name it. And I was also involved with some friends of mine who were into armed robbery. This problem of mine started a very long time ago, from when I was very young of age. Because I've always been very brilliant in school. I never even used to read for exams and all. I was always brilliant, but I always had this spirit of stealing what wasn't mine, like phones, money. I would take people's money, I would take people's phones. I was always bringing embarrassment back to my family because even in school, I would, like in secondary school, I would steal like someone's money in school and they would have to call my parents to come to school. So I was always bringing shame to my family, and that was how it has been from when I was even very little, or just making bad friends. I was making bad friends by default. I didn't even have to try hard. I was just making, every friend I was making was bad. Then my mom, I'm actually from a very good home. Like I didn't have any reason for doing all this. I was sent to the best schools that you could think of. I was even sent to Canada. I was in Canada as of 2009. I gained admission into the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, Canada. So that was where I got involved with credit card fraud, and I made a lot of bad friends. I was into drugs. I was smoking all the time. I wasn't even going to school. Like my mom would always send me school fees to pay my school fees, but I would always end up spending the money on drugs, going to club, and I wasn't going to school. Then, because this credit card, I'm also very good with computers. Anything computer, I can program, I can do softwares, hacking, whatever you can think of, and I was into credit card fraud. I was cloning different credit cards and different people's accounts. So I was doing this over time. So there was this job that I did, this credit card job I did for $200,000, and I actually was the one that did everything. I cloned the credit card, and I actually went into the bank and I withdrew this money. So my picture, everything was in the bank. Because prior to this time, I never used to go into the bank to do anything. But that very time, I went into the bank, I withdrew the money, and then the police started looking for me in Canada. Then I was trying to move to a different city to just lay low. So on trying to go, I actually got caught by the police, and I was the first person they caught, and I gave up the names of like 5 other of my accomplices that did the credit card scam. So I noticed that most of the people that I got arrested with, they were given long jail terms, like 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But all this while, my mom didn't know I was in jail yet. So I was the only one that they gave the option of deporting back to Nigeria, because I don't even know why. Because I didn't even have a lawyer at that time that would represent me in court or anything. So at the end of the day, I was deported, and that was how my mom found out that I was not going to school and I was living this life of crime. So when I got back to Nigeria, my mom actually tried. She wanted to set me up with like a business to do. She gave me 7 million naira, and she gave me a brand new Hilux. It was a vehicle that time. So upon coming back, she gave me the car to be using around. So and at that point, she lives in Abuja. So I was in Abuja with her. So when she gave me the money and gave me the car, I left Abuja. I ran to Lagos with 2 friends that I just made. I made two friends in Abuja that were into drugs, and we were always smoking together, going to nightclubs and all. Then we came down to Lagos. I started staying in a hotel until when the money was when the 7 million was done. I didn't have any money. I sold the Hilux that my mom gave to me, and that Hilux, she bought it for 7.5 million. I sold it for like 2.3 million naira, way less than the value of the car. And all for just drugs, just to go to the nightclub, stay in the hotel, and the money finished at the end of the day. So I ran back to my mom in Abuja, and that was how it was going on and on. Even one day, I took her checkbook, and I wrote everything on it. I forged her signature, and I went into the bank, and they actually paid me the amount, 500,000 on the checkbook. They paid me the amount. So that's what I was doing. And anytime I do this, I would always run away. And when the money is done, I will run back. So this was going on and on and on until my mom started having medical issues, because she was now hypertensive, and she couldn't deal with me anymore. So she told me I should come down to Lagos and stay with my father, because my dad lives here in Lagos. So I came to Lagos to stay with my dad, and it was just the same thing. I was giving my dad stress. I would take his money, I would run away, I wouldn't come back. Bad friends, I was smoking, drugs, everything, you just name it. I met some friends that were into armed robbery at a point here in Lagos, and they came to me as internet fraudsters. I thought maybe that was what they were into, but I later discovered that they were into armed robbery, and they actually initiated me into the gang, and I started going on operations with them. That's how the thing just continued. I was going on operation with my friends who were armed robbers, and we were actually carrying guns, and we were actually going for these operations. They were making so much money, but they were not giving me enough, because one of the members told me that if I continue, I will start getting more money. As of when I started going out with them on robbery incidents, then I also was getting people to trust me. Then once they trust me, I would take like their properties and just run away. I also deceive people, because I would tell people that my mom is very influential, and if they wanted to get visas to travel abroad, they can give me the money. Then I will talk to my mom and we'll procure the visas for them. So I did it to like 3 or 4 different people. Some people gave me 1 million, 2 million, 1.5 million, and I would just run away with the money. And they would trace me back to my mom, and my mom would be like, she hasn't seen me for months, because she didn't even know where I was or where I was sleeping. So that's how it was going on and on while I was living with my dad here in Lagos. 3 weeks ago, I took my dad's phone and I went to sell it. After selling my dad's phone, he got angry with me, and he actually locked the house and told me that I shouldn't come back unless I come back with his phone. But he didn't know that I was with his car keys. At that point, he didn't know I was with his car keys. So at night, I now went into the house. I started the car, opened the gates quietly, and I drove the car out. So the car was with me. I didn't have a phone. I was just with the car. I was sleeping inside the car. So at night, I would just go park the car somewhere that I felt was safe, and I would just sleep there till the next morning, surviving. Then on two weeks ago, on that Sunday, I was parked by a barbing salon. There was a barbing salon by the side. Then I saw the prophet's picture on the sliding door of the barbing salon, but I didn't take any meaning to it. But that was where I was throughout that Sunday.
You mean you saw a sticker with Prophet TB Joshua's picture
I saw a sticker with his picture, a very big sticker with his picture there. So that was where I was that Sunday, but I didn't really take any meaning to it. In fact, that Sunday, I ran out of money. I didn't have money. I was with the car. I was trying to sell the car, but for some reason, I was not getting anybody that was interested in buying it. So on that Sunday, I now wanted to put my SIM card in a phone, in any phone I can get. so that I could call those my friends that were into armed robbery and see if I could go with them on an operation just to get little money because I was out of money. So that Monday morning, the barber at the salon, I just spoke to him. I told him that the car had broken down. I needed to call someone to help me fix. So when I put my SIM in the phone, I didn't even dial any number. The call that came in was my mom.
Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ. So at the very moment you placed the SIM card in that phone, your mom just called.
Yes.
And when was the last time you had seen or spoken with her?
For over 8 months, I haven't seen her or spoken to her. So when I saw the call, I was very surprised. Then I picked up. I thought she was going to shout at me, ask me where I was with the car and everything. So when I picked the call, she asked me where I was. I told her I'm around. I'm in Lagos here. And I didn't even know she was in Lagos too. She told me that I should start coming down here. I told her I didn't have any money. She told me I should find a way. I should enter a taxi, whatever I can find, just come down here to Synagogue Church. So I came down here on that Monday.
Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ. So, brother, we saw that on last week's Sunday, your mom cried out to Prophet TB Joshua as he was moving around praying for people. And we saw how he prayed for you in the power of the Holy Spirit. Can you just describe what happened to you at that point?
Well, at the point when the prophet touched me, for like 2 or 3 minutes, I blacked out. I didn't even know where I was at the point in time. I didn't even know where I was. I was confused. I felt like I was weak. Everything was just going on with me at the same time. I felt that I was shivering in my bone. I was cold. I was hot. I was just feeling everything at that point in time.
And have you ever experienced anything like that before?
Never. Like so many men of God have placed hands on me, or maybe going to church or whatever, and it doesn't move me. Like I even always pray for them to touch me to see if I can fall or something like that. But I never felt that. I never felt that strong force in me before. I know I was shivering in my body. I started feeling cold. I started feeling things leaving me. I was just feeling so strange, that very day. And that was just all. I felt like something was coming out of me, just leaving me, my whole body, my legs, my hands. And I just thank God for my life, because I'm not even supposed to be living right now, So I'm just happy for
Glory be to God. And since that touch, just tell us, what are the changes you've seen in your life?
Well, before, it was always very hard for me to stay like 2 hours or 3 hours without smoking or taking drugs, But since that day till now, it's been a week, and I haven't even gone near cigarettes or drugs or anything pertaining to that. So I just give God the glory. My advice to people like me, is to believe that there's a God. A life without Jesus is more or less a wasted life. And we should always look for a way to do good and not go evil. Always try and pick your friends, and don't let your friends pick you. Because if I knew Jesus on time, I knew that by now I would have been somewhere greater than where I am today, and it has just been the devil all the way, right from when I was very little. And I'm just happy that Jesus has saved me through the prophet, and I'm glad.
Amen. Let's put our hands together for Jesus Christ.
Praise the Lord. Actually, when I came here, the day I left Abuja, I told God that I'm going to a final destination. I told myself there is no way I will leave the synagogue without a testimony. And when the man of God walked up to me, I did not expect him to tell me to forgive this man, actually. I was hoping that he was going to ask me, where is your son? Like I hear him ask other people. But I was shocked. That's to show that he saw my heart I was in pain. I can't deny that. I was so much in pain because the person that was supposed to play the role of a father did not do that. So I have been living in pain. I have forgiven him, man of God. I have forgiven him. My son, I speak as a mother, is not supposed to be alive today. Because as a family, we had prayed for him to die. We prayed for him to die. The reason I'm saying is that he caused us so much pain. When I mean pain, I mean pain. So much embarrassment, so much shame. I have cried, I've gone to churches, I have fasted, I prayed, but nothing seemed to happen. That was why I ran to this synagogue, Church of All Nations. I never used to watch Emmanuel TV. A friend introduced me to this television, and I started watching this television. I just left it permanent in my bedroom. People come to my house, they will ask, oh, you are now Emmanuel TV Joshua. I said yes, without even coming here. I said yes. What I am seeing that is happening there, I believe will happen to me too. I even told a friend, I said, one day you will see me testify.
And today, our mother is indeed testifying to the glory of God.
Before he left for Canada, he first got admission as a child into King's College. And at King's College, he wasn't there up to a month. One morning, at between 6 and 7, we just saw he came in. He didn't have any shirt on him. He didn't have any shoes on him. I believe most people know where King's College is. And we asked him, where are you coming from? He said, from school. Without shirts, without shoes, I was scared. This boy was just 9 years old. We took him back. He was never in school, one complaint after the other. The father now said we should take him out of King's College. I said, how can I? This is a school that every parent will want her child to be. Why would I withdraw him from King's College? We now decided that was the best thing to do. We had to withdraw him from King's College. Before taking him out of King's College, we had to look for a school that has the highest fence. I personally came down to scout all private schools to see which one has the highest fence that he will not scale. We got one in Ikeja. He started school. The same thing continued. I now said, what kind of a thing is this? They gave him corporal punishment that he scaled the fence, very high fence. It continued. But during WAEC, the school was shocked and surprised that he had the best results. This is a boy that does not read. He is never in school. The proprietress called us, said, Madam, let this boy go to a private university so that his time will not be wasted. Of all my other children, he is the only person that went to a private university. He got admission into Babcock University. He did not read for the exams. He just walked into the exams hall and he passed. He started university. 1 month is not in school. The father will go to school, go to a hospital and get medical reports that he's asthmatic. That's why he ran away. He was in the hospital. The father did that for 3 times. He did that. On the 4th time, he said, no, he's not doing it again. So
just to cover up for your son?
Yes, it was a cover-up so that the school can take him back. But on the 4th time, when he left the school, the father said he's not doing it again. That's how he came back home. What do you want to do? We don't know. We just did not know what to do with him. He was just there. We just did not know what to do. Each time he disappears, he does something and he disappears. At times when I'm in the car, I'll be looking at dustbin if I will see cops. I will looking at the roadside, hoping that I will see his dead body. But it never happened. One day in my office, I was making photocopy of his WAEC results. I was crying because the results was fantastic. A friend just walked into my office and she just met me. I couldn't hide. She said, why are you crying? I just threw the result, the papers to her. And she said, what? This boy made this result. I said, but he has refused to be in school. She said, okay, we are going to send him out of the country. Maybe that will help him. That is how his going to Canada came up. Before you know it, he got admission. Everything for him is always fast. He got admission. He left for Canada. I will always visit him, go to school. I will take pictures. He will take me to school. We will take pictures. Mommy, this is this. Mommy, this is that. I will be happy. I will come back. Not knowing that he's not in school, that he's just deceiving me. Next year, I will go again because I wanted to keep track. I will go. He's not, he will just deceive me and I will come back. So when it happened like that, I came back one of the times. We didn't hear from him for a very long time. And I was worried. One day, a strange person just called. He said he's a lawyer representing my son, that my son is in jail. My God. And this was a Christmas. We were all in Calabar, complete on Christmas Day. I couldn't hold myself. On a Christmas Day, my son was in jail. That's how the process of getting him out came in. The lawyer, I'm not there. Anyway, long story short, he was deported. And it continued until what we are saying today. I give God the glory. The God of Prophet TB Joshua. That same God, I will worship him. I will worship that God until the day I am called to rest. Because that God has I didn't even know he was into armed robbery. I'm hearing it for the first time. I didn't know. I thought it was all these other ones. I never knew he had joined armed robbers. Even when I was shouting, man of God, help me, is an armed robber, I just wanted to say anything that entered my mouth. I just wanted to attract the attention of the man of God. I didn't know he was actually an armed robber. When I went back to Abuja, I told the sister, the senior sister, when she said, Mommy, we saw you shouting, armed robber, armed robber. You see, man, armed robber, an armed robber. I said, Coco, I just wanted to get the man of God's attention. Nobody in the family, we don't know he's an armed robber. I just said it that day.
Click on the link below to visit my blog where you will learn more about TB Joshua, listen to countless testimonies, and get clear step-by-step instructions on how to visit Scoans to get your free and permanent healing with just a touch. And if you don't have the means to visit Scoans, don't worry, I will tell you what to do to get your healing in your home. This is free support. I need nothing from you in return. I am just helping. You have nothing to lose, just give it a try and you will be amazed as I was. Let me know if you need any help. I am waiting for your testimony. Please subscribe and visit my channel to watch many amazing healings that will blow your mind, give you hope and prepare you for your own healing.